Hi, this is Asim,
This is Sujoy.
This is Amrita.
and you're listening to Khandan, a Bollywood podcast about the three main Khans of the Hindi film industry:
Amir.
Salman,
And Shara.
Hi, you're listening to Khandan, a Bollywood podcast regular feed. Thank you so much for your support over the years. We now have a Patreon channel with bonus content and exclusive merch for those of you who would like to support us. Every dollar goes towards creating more and better content. Visit us at patreon.com/Khandan podcast.
Hi, and welcome to a new episode of Khandan Podcast. My name is Asim Bernie, and I'm joined with my lovely co-host Amrita and Sujoy. Hey, Amrita. Hey, Sujoy.
Hey everybody.
Hello.
So we had plans today, right, guys? I'm just gonna get into this because obviously we had announced
Name and shame them. Name and shame them.
So basically, we were going to record two episodes today. One was going to be the trailer reaction to Batwara and is it Batwara 1947, right? That's what it's called.
Yes.
And then the Ramayana trailer that just dropped. And then do the main review. It was going to be English Babu Desi Mem. But both of my co-hosts have disappointed me in certain degrees. Amrita by not watching it, and Sujoy for picking this movie. So, so we will be doing that at a later date. But all of us will be traveling for a few weeks, so there might be a bit of delay in that episode, unfortunately. And the thing is, I'd announced it on Patreon, and people were so excited because they absolutely love it when we watch terrible movies, and that we suffer. And that we feel pain, and I'm glad that Sujoy was part of creation of that pain by making us watch English Babu Desi Mem.
Yeah. The audience shouldn't get the onus all the time. I should create the pain as well.
Yeah. So what are your excuses, Amrita? What's going on?
My excuse is that I love myself and I really didn't want to. I have vague memories of watching this film, which I will explain more when we record that episode. But I was telling Asim about it, and then Sujoy was like, "No, it's a good movie." And that's how you know that Sujoy is a true blue Shah Rukh fan and I am not.
I don't think Shah Rukh fan is the hook here. I'm a Sonali fan.
Yeah. Well, we will be talking about English Babu Desi Mem at a later week, so it probably will be like end of August now or mid-August that episode will be coming out. Well, we will be doing it. We will be discussing it. So just a bit of delay. But we wanted to talk, first a few plugs, right? We recorded a massive episode about the Odyssey on Patreon. That was a Patreon exclusive. And since then, I've actually rewatched the movie. And Sujoy, you've rewatched the movie. I don't know if, Amrita, you had a chance to go again?
No, I'm gonna go this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think, Sujoy, you have booked again. You're going for the third time soon, right? If that's what
Yes.
you were saying? Yeah.
I'm rewatching it on the IMAX. So I've watched it on IMAX once and on the super screen once, and I want to watch it on the IMAX again. I couldn't find any screenings, so I booked a very early morning screening on Sunday. That was one screening that opened up, and I'm going on Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
Amrita, have you seen the kind of how do you call it, hullabaloo about Emily Wilson
Yes.
that wrote she was not happy, and she
Yes.
went quite far, right? She said if I was Nolan, I would be embarrassed about
Yeah.
the adaptation they done, right?
And the writing, basically, like the screenplay that I have. If I had written something like this, I would be very embarrassed or something to that effect. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts? Have you read the Emily Wilson translation, Amrita?
No, that's been on my TBR for quite a long time. And look, a classicist saying that they hate a popular adaptation of their life's work, I mean, color me shocked, right? Like, who saw that one coming? Um, and I have to say, like, if Nolan had written a more faithful adaptation, um, it would have been genuinely, it would have been something like, you know, that what's his name, Army Hammer. Do you know that Army Hammer made that Islamophobic movie where he's like going around killing this entire family of migrants because like one of them like kills his family or whatever.
Elon
uh,
Musk's favorite movie, you mean?
yeah.
Citizen Vigilante.
Oh yeah, okay. I can't remember the name of it, but it would have been like the like the classical version of that if they had actually made an like a faithful adaptation of the Odyssey, right? Like, I'm not saying that it's Islamophobic or it's, like any of the, like, we can't judge pieces of antiquity with modern morals, which is something that I'm like very, like, it's a matter of debate, obviously, but also there are just some things that don't adapt well to the screen, and I feel like Nolan made the best that he could out of it.
Mm.
And this is something that I was saying to you guys on the Patreon episode as well, that I am not too precious about like, oh, this is the Nolan version and the Nolan version is this and the Nolan version is that. I mean, this is a myth. Helen of Troy came from an egg. Like, are we serious? Like, you can do like, I think within the bounds of the story itself, I think Nolan tried to find a narrative that he wanted to tell. And that's what a myth is good for. Like, it creates a framework for a larger story that you're trying to tell.
Yeah.
So I understand where Emily Wilson is coming from, but also I think she's wrong.
Yeah, I haven't read the translation myself, but it was interesting because there was so much. Like initially, there was a lot of backlash against the Odyssey because of the casting, because of some of the themes, and like the portrayal has been also like a lot of like right wing racists because they feel they own the Roman Empire. That just seems to be a tendency that they have. But I felt like the praise was so effusive about this movie that like the blogs and the content people were like aching for something to grab on, like like they didn't like it, let's find the things to say about it. But I mean, there's so many parts of the stories that just wouldn't have worked, like like Odyssey is just banging women left and right, like there's a whole section in that. There's like uh apparently there was no mention of food, which is a big part of the Odyssey or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of these elements that I'm like, you need to make it a cohesive story. You need to keep central themes. And for me, it was like that movie was a masterpiece. So I didn't, even though I know the story, I didn't mind like the things that Emily Wilson is saying. I mean, that's interesting from a literary standpoint, but I don't think that would have necessarily made the movie any better, in my mind.
But
Um,
also, it reminds me of that whole like, oh, where was Tom Bombadil in the Lord of the
yeah,
Rings trilogy? Which
yeah,
not a single person that's ever watched the trilogy
yeah.
has been like, oh, you know what? If only Tom Bombadil was here, that's what's like making this movie suck. Like, no, like
Yeah.
nobody cares. And also, like, the original Lord of the Rings is just a bunch of guys like drinking beer and like singing about it. Like, oh my god, like I love this beer. This beer is like the best beer. Don't have any of that in the movie, and it's fine.
Yeah. Sujay, you also went back and watched Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I hadn't apparently I hadn't watched it, or like I have very hazy memories of watching bits of it on Star Movies, but I'll connect the two. What I find interesting in the conversation with Emily Wilson is that now what, because she's a translator and she did not like the movie, she's equated with the right wing trolls who did not like the
Yeah.
movie either, which is a weird way to put it. And also, like, the other flip side of it, the Nolan bros not accepting the criticism, like for like the like for me, the movie is visually beautiful, but like the emotion did not connect with me, as I like you can find all the details of my thoughts on the Odyssey on our Patreon review, but I did not connect with it because I just found Matt Damon's Odysseus portrayal was very inert, very stoic. He did not come across as emotional at all, and not romantic enough, not tragic enough in a way. Maybe I was projecting some sort of like pop culture reference that I have of Matt Damon the actor and Odysseus the character, and I think that's a failure on both Nolan and Matt Damon. But also coming back to Troy, I just found while Troy is a very to the template Hollywood cosplays, the swords and sandals kind of a movie, it does some things quite well compared to the Odyssey, and better, like in ways the stage set is created. You realize that this world is vast. The cities are really big. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people living in these cities. The atrocities, the tragic aftermath of what do you call the Troy War,
Siege, the
the
siege.
siege of Troy, and the utter massacre and carnage that happens. You don't get to see that. Perhaps we are sort of numbed with real life tragedy and death, that what Nolan portrays in the Odyssey isn't tragic enough, but is somehow depicted very brutally in Troy. Obviously, I have had many issues with the dialogue in or the sound design in on the Odyssey, that I can't really hear what everybody's speaking, because the background score is just amped up to the 11, and that is done better in Troy. And just the action sequences are really well done in Troy compared to the Odyssey.
Mm. I mean, also it was like talk about adapting things and making it different. I think Troy is like a very good example about how many massive, massive changes they did in 2004. That movie came out, I think.
Yeah.
Um, so just one thing I did find funny about Odyssey in my second viewing. I've been like desperately looking for an IMAX theater to go to, and I wanted to take my wife for the second viewing because she didn't get a chance to see it, and I just kept looking for IMAX, and there was nothing, nothing, nothing. And we ended up finding a VIP screening, which is with like recliner seats. And guys, my wife was so happy. It just made me realize like something we like film nerds can like obsess about screen size, when like we should maybe obsess about comfort while watching like a 3 hour movie.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing and it just flies by like rewatching that movie. It's like it's so much fun, it's so engrossing. But it's also very it is a very clear movie. You understand the themes it's hitting. It's not like the second view I got this new understanding of it. I got it pretty much from the first one. It was just like an amazing adventure and visual treat to go back to it. But yeah, it's if I can, I will try to get like an IMAX screening towards the end of September if there's anything available. But yeah, I don't think now it's in the cards that I'm going to be watching in a big screen, unfortunately. Um, One other plug that I wanted to give is I was on our friend Rohan's podcast, the Pan India Project. If people haven't checked that out, I've also added a link on our Patreon for free. I think it's free access, so you can go through it on that. And guys, I forget sometimes when we step out of our lovely audience of Khandan and a reel or something goes viral or reaches numbers, the amount of hate and attack you get, it is crazy out there, people. Like, it is crazy. I don't know if you got a chance to see some of the comments or the things on the reels, but like, always a joy to be called a terrorist in 70 different ways when you make a point about Bollywood, which is a joy. But I just want to say, it was a really cool conversation. The reels are a small part of what the whole discussion was, so I would advise people, check it out. It's a really fun conversation.
But
um,
context किसको पसंद है? We all want the highlight पे highlight.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, and the funny part is also, it was because you go to another podcast and you're basically condensing your point of views that you always have on Khandan anyway, right? Like I've talked about my problems with Ritik and then also the Ritik problem that I called on the podcast. And people just had no understanding what I was saying. They were talking about fizza, 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 which was completely beyond what I was trying to say. And also just the fact that I was basically calling it. The Ritik problem, but that not that Ritik is a problem, but again, all of that goes lost in longer context. And I knew what I was doing, though. I knew what I was doing. So,
Ah,
without
you're baiting them.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if dumb people wanna spend their time and then comment, so yeah, why not? But it was a very very fun episode. People should check it out. Shall we get talk about the Ramayana trailer because it just dropped literally last night?
I love that the whole segue from getting all the hate is directly to Ramayana.
I know, I know, I know. It's like why is
Ah,
a Pakistani talking about you Muslims? But the funny part is, I'm actually is one of the movies I'm excited about. Like I was like, I'm really looking forward to this one because it's so much in the past, I guess, that Islamophobia doesn't come into it. Like this.
no,
Mm.
but also Namit Malhotra's Ramayana as to give it its proper title.
Sorry, Amrita. I got a
Yeah.
PR note. We have to
Uh-huh.
credit Namit Malhotra and we have to credit DNEG, his studio. I've never seen this in a PR email that we have to credit this person.
Wow.
So yeah, that's
Wow.
why I'm crediting him now.
Don't worry, Namit, I got you. But like, what was I going to say? Like, no, I can't remember what
Sorry.
I was going to say.
I
But yeah,
think
Namit
what you.
Malhotra.
No,
No,
no, go
like
ahead.
Namit Malhotra specifically wants like non-Indians and non-Hindus to watch this
He
series.
didn't specify
Uh,
Pakistanis though, Amrita.
no, 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 no. He wants like white people,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, now the Pakistanis also get to watch it.
Yeah, unfortunately. But it
Yeah.
is very apparent through all of the press run that's been happening that this is not for brown people. Like the velvet rope is there. Like I literally
Yeah.
in the press note, let me read it out to you. It says also, so this is the she gets the kindly credit DNEG when featuring the trailer and the film stills. Also, talent will not be available at this time for interviews, but we will certainly advise on their availability in the coming months. It's like they're literally doing interviews with every white outlet out there, but for like the Desi people, they're not available. It's hilarious. I thought that was just so funny.
Yeah, they've been
Yeah.
shopping around town. They've been going to Comic Con to promote this. I've not to Hall H, which
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, the trailer released at Comic Con and now it's up out
Yeah.
for public. Last night,
And
sometime
they
at
they
midnight.
they got Sony International to distribute it, right? So it's
Yeah,
literally going to be everywhere. So it is a big deal. It's not like, I mean, we're laughing about it, but this is a massive, massive scale, release that they're doing. And my thing was, I was watching, like, I literally watched the trailer last night before going to bed, and I was just like happy to see what Karina Kapoor's PowerPoint presentation in Singham 3 was about. I want that's what I really want. Um,
do you want that reel like Karina presents and then it then moves into like the
yeah,
the the intro to this movie to be Karina Kapoor just so that
that
Asim is happy.
I think that would make a lot of people happy because a lot of people are complaining about specific things, and adding a bit of Karina would have improved these things. But let's talk a bit about the trailer. Sujoy, do you want to go first? What did you think about the trailer?
Yeah, to begin with, when I scrolled through their channel, I thought like six different trailers, and I was like, "What's happening?" Oh, it's all in different languages. Then I had to choose the Hindi one, and then I saw it's 4.5 minutes long, and I'm like, "This movie is going to be long when the trailer is this long." Uh, Third, I was happy to see Arun Govil play Dasarath, who was the TV Ramayana of the TV Ram of Ramayana, like he was the Ram of my childhood, like from agarbattis to movie posters to like actual posters that people were actually doing puja around the face of Ram, or the human face of Ram had been Arun Govil for for generations, and to see him come back in this as the father of Ram is quite a nice touch, I would say. I didn't expect Lara Datta to play KK in this. She came out from nowhere, and the age difference between her and Ranbir is. But then she's the stepmom, so I don't know. Maybe Ranbir isn't looking that good as Ram, to be honest. For me, I don't know if I want him to sell me the image of Ram, but so far not so good. And then the special effects, it looks all very very digital. Like nothing looks photoreal to me yet. I don't know how much more work is going to happen from now until release, but on the face value of this trailer, I'm not sold. But obviously, I will be watching it. I'm not
Mm.
sold. I guess this movie is getting released in two parts. So I think the part of Hanuman and Vanar Sena is not there yet in this movie. So I think Sunny Deol is playing Hanuman, so that will come in part two, because we didn't get to see Hanuman in the trailer either. Um, yeah, my excitement level pre watching the trailer and post watching the trailer remains unaffected.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Amrita, what about you?
Um, I don't know. Look, this is it's not like I'm rooting for this to fail or anything. It's
Yeah.
nothing like that. I want to have a good time at the movies, and it's a great story. I just feel like the entire environment around this film is so toxic right now. It's toxic on a political level, but also on an industry level. It is so toxic. Like, if you go to Reddit and you see what people are saying about Ranbir and about Sai Pallavi and about, and weirdly enough, like about Alia and like the relationship between Alia and Ranbir sort of like coming back to this, and also all this stuff about like now suddenly Ranveer Singh is the blue-eyed boy, so everyone's like, well, he would have been an excellent Ram, and these are people like a year ago would have been like Ranveer Singh isn't good enough to play the security guard outside their building. So it's I don't know. Like, I know there are people out there in this country that actually enjoy the movies. I just don't get to see them anymore because all I get to hear are the kind of people that call you a terrorist, Asim. And they're just so loud and they're just so everywhere and they're just sort of like poisoning the air everywhere they are. So
Mm.
I can only talk about this movie in terms of like my experience of it. I don't think I can talk about this in a larger context because the larger context is just poison.
Mm.
And from what I have seen, and this is sort of like contrary to what everyone else seems to be thinking, because I've seen like Yash getting a lot of good press on the back of this trailer and everyone being like, oh yeah, he's like really great. I actually think the opposite. Like, I liked Ranbir, and well, there wasn't much to Sai Pallavi's introduction, but I thought Ranbir as Ram was like a lot more. I mean, this is okay. Before there's like 70 things that are occurring to me right now, but there's this thing that a lot of people that play Ram do, which is they kind of play him as this very stoic character, and they sort of like leech away any personality other than righteous from this character. And I think like that is the wrong way to play it. And I feel like Ranbir's strength is that he has this look, and this is something that I remember from Rajniti, right? Like, that was the first time I clocked it. But Ranbir has this thing where there's this thing behind his eyes that sort of suggests that he's secretly, you know, um, like there's like depth to him. Like there's Like he might be a psycho, he might be a great guy, he might be like, a bunch of different things. And I think like that's why he was so he was like the first choice for Animal, and that's why Sandeep Reddy Vanga wanted him for Animal. Um, and this is a really great opportunity for Ranbir to put his stamp on the character of Ram. But I don't know if he has the space as a performer to do that. I don't think he'll be allowed to interpret this character. I think he's just going to be asked to portray it. And it just sort of like really surprises me that Ranbir said yes to this film, to be very honest. Like I don't really know what the strategy is here, career wise or even art wise. But Yash is in a completely different movie from Ranbir and Sai Pallavi. Like he's chewing the scenery a lot like Seth in the Prabhas version. Like I don't know if you remember, right? But it's that
Adipurush, right?
same, yeah, exactly. Asim is like, it's burnt into my retinas. But like he's playing it tonally at the same place that Seth was playing at, and I genuinely feel like that is a mistake, because if you are playing this movie for a non-Indian audience, a non-Hindu audience, then it's a really great time to introduce the complexity of Ravana as a character, because Ravana is a complex character in the actual story. He's a scholar. He's a very devout and pious man, but he's also like laid low by his hubris, and also there's like a lot of things that he does that are seen as being evil or whatever in the story. He has like really good reasons to do all of those things. So it's a very complex character, and the way that I see from the trailer, Yash is not playing it with any kind of complexity whatsoever. He's just playing it as like, I'm evil and I do evil things. And look at
Mm.
me, I'm just cool. And that's actually, in my mind, a very like it turns it into a cartoon performance rather than like a real performance. And I don't know if that is the best way to do it.
I think his like point of reference is very much how Bhalal was played by Rana Dagubati in
Oh,
Bahubali.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just feels like it. Like I can make that straight, connection. Whereas Ravana needs to be a lot more layered, and there's other, parts of his stories where he has other emotions rather than rage and villainy.
Mhm. But I mean, like coming as a person that only has read the Wikipedia of the story, I have never read it. Like I'm coming at it as like an outsider, right? I thought the trailer looked great. I thought the special effects for me worked. The scale is so big. Um, it did sometimes, especially when those giant characters are jumping. It reminded me to a certain degree to World of Warcraft, that movie that
Hmm.
came out. Um, and my fear is in a way that the movie just becomes a World of Warcraft. And what I'm looking forward to is to get those deeper religious themes out of it in a way. What makes this story so important for, the largest population in the world, and in terms of, like these bigger themes in a way. I just don't want it to be a special effects laden adventure story.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and I mean, for me, I'm comparing it with Adipurush to a certain degree, and everything that I've seen now is like 100 times better for me, right? So there's no comparison for me here. There was one person that had written a tweet, and I think I'm paraphrasing. It's like a screenshot of Ranbir as Ram, and they said, "Bro is about to say Sita मैं उड़ना चाहता हूँ," and I thought that just killed me. That was the funniest thing, and it's kind of like messed up with my brain, that tweet. But again, I don't know, is he age appropriate for this role? What
No,
age was Ram supposed to be?
like young,
Young,
like,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
is one thing that I was like, he has that expression, and I don't know if that's the expression he's going for, of like, um a father who is has already bought the Valentine gifts for his wife, and he's being very smug about it. That's the expression I feel Ranbir had in this one. And I don't know if it's maybe an age thing, and that might happen. I also saw people that were saying that Sai Pallavi is not pretty, which I like. I don't understand
Who are these
how people
people?
how people think, right? Like, I
Yeah.
don't understand it. Um um but yeah, I thought Yash was great. I thought the visuals are so massive, like it like how did the Adipurush team even try to make that movie? Like, how are they even, like, and I feel this scale justifies the story, right? Like this massive epic, again, from an outsider speaking, because this is really what Namit Malhotra, who I don't feel is a good, like, he's plastered everywhere, but I don't think he's a good ambassador for this movie. And he's taking central stage with all of these Comic Con interviews and stuff like that. And for me, he's not a compelling storyteller. So I think that's a mistake on how they're selling the story.
Mhm.
But and especially like the director, who's the director, sorry,
Nitesh Tiwari.
he's like completely on the back end of it. So
Hmm.
it's a weird way to present a movie where the producer is doing all the talking and even the stars are like on the background. I just think it's really weird. I don't think he speaks really well. um but coming, he did say that this needs to appeal to non Hindu audiences, right? Me included, unfortunately. And I, I was missing a lot of context in the trailer. I felt the trailer, like you're mentioning these characters, specifically. I don't know who these characters are, but I think they should elicit some sort of emotion or excitement.
Hmm.
And I don't feel for a
And I
four
think, yeah,
minute.
the trailer itself sort of takes the audience for granted that they know the story and these are the
Yeah.
beats, you know.
Yeah, and that's weird because I don't know the beats,
Yeah.
like so like I know some elements of it, but I feel like the trailer miscalculated. Then if you're
Hmm.
making it a story about for outsiders, then make it in some different way, because this
Yeah.
doesn't seem like, oh, Rakul Preet is coming and then her nose is getting cut off, which I know, but it's like I don't think, like John Denver knows, like in Iowa,
John
right?
Denver.
Like I don't know. So
But John Denver will get 100K likes for his reaction to this
he
trailer.
will, yeah, yeah, and we
Yes.
will only get dislikes. But it's good for John Denver. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. I thought the 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 arrow thing is cool. I thought that was really cool, the way he's like flipping around and stuff like that, which I missed in Odyssey, which I didn't think the arrow shooting was put into much of kind of a spotlight. I think they do a good job here. uh yeah, I'm honestly kind of excited for it. I
uh,
hope.
my point of reference for the Ramayana, the direct reference is the Chinese film industry because they do all these period or religious mythological movies a lot. The recent ones that come to my mind is the Creation of God's trilogy. The part three is supposed to come out, and these are massive, massive global hits. Obviously, massive hits in China as well. So they are built on 150 million budget each for each of these movies, and this is almost three times the budget for the two movies, I guess, but it's still like $250 million budget for one movie. I'm talking about Ramayana.
Well,
So I don't know how well it will compare to Creation of Gods, and I have
well,
some sort of faith in Nitesh Tiwari in telling the story rather than just the effects.
well, are we pretending that this is not somewhere a money laundering scheme?
Why?
I mean, the way that what Namit Malhotra
Malhotra.
is doing all of it, and I get that he's trying to do, whatever, like publicity for DNEG and everything, because every single poster, every single trailer, teaser, whatever you have is
Mm-hmm.
like the award nominated DNEG. I get it. I get that's what he's trying to do, and that's also why he wants like non-Indian or non-Desi audiences to watch this film. But the numbers just seem ridiculous to me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you mean this call? costs, $500 million to make. Like, that's a ridiculous number. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh,
Especially for an Indian production, which is made in
Exactly.
India. That's a lot of money. I don't know. Yeah.
mm, yeah. No, no, and there's a second part coming later this year, or is not shot yet. What's going on? Does
I
anybody know?
think it's been shot simultaneously.
Oh, it
So,
has.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting, interesting. Well, I hope it works for them. I think it's a big swing. I think if they manage to give it more than give it more themes than it just being a special effects laden film that we can also make like this, I think it could work.
Something about
Um,
the budget, though, funnily, because when they initially announced it was like 4,000 crore rupees, and that was equivalent to 500 million USD when the conversion. And now, since the rupee is weaker to the dollar by a lot, it's down to almost $418 million compared to 500 when it was at the time of announcement. So that was funny to me when I recalculated.
I think I also think one thing that they might have underestimated is like जिस जैसे तेरे देश के रेसिस्ट हैं वैसे दूसरे देश के रेसिस्ट हैं there's a lot of anti India sentiment going on just across the world, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know how many John Denvers we were gonna go watch like an Indian religious movie, and I
Yeah.
think that's a distinction again should be made. Is this a mythological movie or is this a religious movie? And I think it's a fine balance, and I don't know how they're kind of like
Yeah,
or
the question
mm,
is, will the RRR audience turn up for this, and will they
ye-
be raving about it?
But also, the RRR audience is not a $500 million
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
that's
audience.
what I was gonna say. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there's no, the thing is with the RR audience, there is a level of ridiculousness to RRR that white people really enjoy.
Hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
cannot do that when you're doing a religious mythological movie. You cannot add that level of ridiculousness to it, over the topness to it, because you have to be respectful on how you're telling the story, right?
Hmm.
So it's a really fine balance, and the way Namit Malhotra is talking about it, I don't know if he has that finesse to be able to do that.
Hmm.
So I'm excited to watch the movie, but I worry about these grander ambitions that it has for sure. Yeah, let's go over to our other trailer that dropped. You were talking about Sunny Deol earlier, Batwara 1947, earlier called Lahore 1947, which an amazing marketing genius thought, let's find a worse name for a movie. um, Directed by Rajkumar Santoshi, the return of Preeti Zinta, who also had a very unfortunate tweet that she sent out only this week. But again, maybe everything is leaning towards the right wing at the moment. So, Amrita, what did you think of Batwara?
I
The
have
trailer, the
no
trailer. We haven't seen the
words.
movie yet.
Yeah. I have no words. Like, it is. I saw a tweet from somebody, or like maybe it was a comment on Reddit, where they said Sunny Deol must have two portraits of Gandhi and Jinnah in his house so he can do their puja every day to thank them for his career, because that's all he does. Like, India, Pakistan, India, Pakistan, India, Pakistan. Um, yeah, I did you guys ever watch this film called Lajjo?
No.
It was Farida Jalal, and it came out, like, it must have been like 20 years ago.
Mammo.
Or Mammo, that's right,
Yeah, yeah.
Mammo, not Lajjo. And Mammo is the story of, and I remember, like, this was like, it sparked this conversation about, like,
Oh, it's a
um
Shambenegal movie. Yeah. So.
yeah. And it was about, like, this woman who is sort of like left behind in Pakistan, and she doesn't want to leave. And she basically lives with this Muslim family that moves into her home. And then years later, like somebody from her family that moved to India, they come back to see how she is. And she basically, and there's like this whole conversation about identity, like she's Pakistani, but she's Hindu. And she's like, but this, or she's, was it Sikh or was she Hindu? I can't remember. But basically she's Punjabi, and she's like living on that side of the border, and she's just like, like this is my home, and like what does that mean, like your identity and like your connection to your piece of soil, like etc. And this is weirdly enough that same movie, except it's the other way around, where you have like Shabana Azmi, and then you have like um like Muslim Sunny Deol, who is very aggressively Pakistaniing, and it's just I had to laugh. Like this is just ridiculous. And then there's that charisma vacuum that is like Karan Deol. Like I'm sorry, like he seems like a nice kid, but my God, like the way he's saying his lines, it just no,
तू
absolutely not.
जानता नहीं है मेरा बाप कौन है.
See, if he had actually said it that way, it would have actually been better. But he
Uh,
actually just goes like, "तू जानता नहीं है मेरा बाप कौन है?" Like, just goes off from there. So
oh,
yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a stinker, I feel.
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Why,
Sujoy?
you thought it was gonna be good?
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was gonna be good. Why am I like suddenly like the pro India side? What's happening here? The thing is let's like I I I've been beaten down so much with this kind of storytelling. uh, I feel somebody competent that can at least give me the visual of Sunny Deol punching somebody and it feeling like a punch. That's all, and I will take it. At least somebody's playing a good Pakistani, a good Muslim. I will take it. Um, so that's where my base level is at.
Oh my
Um,
God.
yeah, it's really bad. Really bad. Like, things are bad. My mental health is not in a good state. Uh,
Eh,
but no, I was like, have you read the play? This is based on a play, right? Or have you read it, or like I don't know, seen
no,
it? Anybody? Okay,
no.
yeah. So I'm happy to see a Rajkumar Santoshi movie coming back. It has moments where it feels Ghatak in Lahore, like it definitely feels that, which in a way I'm okay with. I'm hoping, and this hope I know is completely misplaced, and this is probably going to be my biggest deception here, is disappointment. Sorry, is that Amir Khan is producing. So the problem is with Amir Khan producing, you have this hope that there will be some finesse to it, some thought behind the movie. But the things that Amir Khan has produced recently, the track record is not there, unfortunately. So I'm kind of in the middle of these two things. I'm happy to see Preeti Zinta back, and I think she looks amazing in it, which I'm happy that she's back on screen. I do feel Shabana Azmi is hamming it up like crazy, like it is so hammy. Um, but I don't know, maybe it's the way
I
the
think she's
trailer.
just matching the volume of the performances
Yeah,
around her. You can't
yeah.
be like subtle and cute when Sunny Deol is at 19, you know?
Yeah, but like the way I was like, thinking again of Ghatak, in Ghatak is it Ilarun that's playing the crazy woman that's
Mhm.
walking around and Mera husband Mardia and all that? That's the level Shabana is playing, but she seems to be like a normal character. Like she doesn't need to be like, that. But the level was so high for me. I was like, wow, what's going on? And then the villainy of the Pakistanis is just like it's cartoonish at this point. Like it's cartoonish, like like
Yeah.
it's like I've never met such an evil Pakistani, and I've been around my family. Like this.
That is weird though, because in the era of the Ghayals and the Ghataks, the villains were the local gundas, and now because we are in a state where you know the nefariousness of the people around us, there has to be a religion or a state associated with the villainy, and that is so sad. the amount of talent that is involved here. Santosh Sivan has done the cinematography, A.R. Rahman has done the music, Javed Akhtar has written the lyrics, and Rajkumar Santoshi is directing, produced by Amir Khan. That gives me some sort of solace. But having said that, seeing this, as watching this trailer, it all sort of crumbles. I don't know how the movie is going to be a lot. The movie has to be a lot better than the trailer for me to like it. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's it.
That's yeah. No, it's interesting. Like I remember, I was having a discussion about this with somebody. I don't remember who, but I remembered Ali Abbas Zafar's movie Bharat with Salman and Katrina, and Ali Abbas, obviously being a Muslim filmmaker, he had this small thing that I really appreciated in Bharat is when the train arrived in Pakistan from India, it everybody in the train had been massacred, right? And that shows you that massacres were happening on both sides. You know, people in India were massacring people that were going to Pakistan, and Pakistanis also had to deal with just the rivers of blood when those, you know, doors were open of those trains that were coming back, right? And it's such a small decision in terms of storytelling, where clearly here in Batwara you're only seeing the Pakistani stabbing the people leaving to India, right? And that's just one of those one-sided storytelling that unfortunately I've just gotten used to now. You know, like it's just this is what it is, and this is, if you want to watch it, this is how you have to accept it. Um, so it did miss me. It did make me think that, you know, you're adding Amir to the story, but I don't trust Amir in these kind of scenarios because he will very much take a one-sided approach and make Pakistanis very much the villain if he needs to. And that's just a shame. You know, that's just a shame. To I think a balance, like in anything that we talked about even Ramayana or Dark Knight, the way, if a villain is nuanced, if the villain has shades, it's, instead of being one note cartoonish, it just makes it a better story, it makes it a better movie. And I don't think that's going to be the case. He's very much who is the actor that's playing the villain? I'm blanking on his name, but he's very much
Abhimanyu
playing,
Singh.
yeah, he's very much playing Danny Denzongpa in Ghatak times 11, right?
Yeah,
And the other thing that, you know, when you're going through those credits, Sujoy, all of those names are great, but they were great 10 years ago, 15 years ago, right? And there's definitely a trend in what audience want. They want us to harken back to how movies used to be. But I
Hmm.
don't know if they have the skill set to be able to deliver something, you know, for current audiences. So those are the kind of you know, little thoughts I had. I also don't know if I'm going to watch this in theaters. Like that's the other thing. um I might just wait and watch like wait how bad the reviews are, because I don't think they're going to be good. But then also just like what my mental health is doing at that time, you know, and what else is going on so in the world, if I want to take again some one-sided approach or not. But yeah, I don't know, like I think a lot of people after Border 2 are also saying that still it's kind of an even-handed movie and stuff like that, so I don't know if that's the case or not. But yeah, I don't have much trust in the people that have kind of like put this project together, unfortunately. Yeah. Any other thoughts, Amrita, about Batwara?
Um, I mean, it's also just this tonally, it doesn't seem to know like what kind of movie it wants to be.
Hmm.
Because like there's this whole thing of like, oh, like like this is like a prestige sort of film, but then also it is like dhai kilo ka haath. So like, what is it? Because it can't be like both.
Yeah, ये नया इंडिया है, घर में घुस के मूवी बनाएगा, you know that. That's what it is, unfortunately. Nothing else more than that. We're going to be talking about Spider-Man: A Brand New Day, but that's going to be a Patreon exclusive. So if you want to hear our review on it, join us on Patreon. But that's it for this episode. Amrita, where can people find you online?
Sadly, I am back on Twitter, so you can find me on Twitter.
The sadness in your voice, Amrita.
She's not even saying her username. Just find her. You do the hard work. I've come back on Twitter. You do the hard work of finding me.
Sujoy?
I'm mostly on Instagram at 93k. That's where I post my stories, my pictures, etc. Yeah, and then you can find all our video content on YouTube at youtube.com/Khadan Podcast.
I'm at Asim Bernie. I have a few videos due on Patreon that I need to record. I just haven't had the time or strength for it at the moment, but I need to get on those. People seem to enjoy them because I've literally had like 3 months of stuff that I watch, which is the problem is I went through my list on Letterbox and I was like, this is so many movies. Like, there's no way I can make any content out of this. So I need to figure out how to present it for Patreon. But join also our Patreon if is for our Odyssey review and our Spider-Man Brand New Day review, which is going to be a Patreon exclusive. So drop us an email at youpodcasting@gmail.com, and thank you for listening.
Podcast for the acting. Girl, you're much